Namaste everyone. Good morning yogis. This is Stephen from YogaWorks. If you've just joined, welcome to your mat. This morning I'd like to do a practice with you called Use It or Lose It. And you've probably noticed as you get a bit older that some functions in your body that children seem to do without any effort seems to be a little bit of a stretch right now. Sometimes in yoga you feel some postures are not so easily accessible. And actually that's exactly how your body works. We have the natural ability to do lunges and squats and lift our arms overhead and to connect to our core. You can see it with the smallest babies actually. But as we grow older and we tend to do some things more like sitting and typing and driving, and some things less like climbing and jumping and running and just playing around, we are losing some of these abilities that our body was gifted with when we were a little bit younger. But not to worry, that sounds a little bit bleak, but there's an easy remedy for that, and it's just to spend some time in these positions that we would like to strengthen again, that we would like to be accessible again. So that's how your body works. And if we send a signal, like I'm sitting in a squat now, or I'm sitting on the floor cross-legged, or I'm lifting my arms overhead, then you send a signal to your body and to your brain, to your whole nervous system that I want this position to be available to me, and I want the body to give me the opportunity to strengthen where needed, to open up where needed. And it's not a quick process. It takes very regular and dedicated practice, but over many years I'm sure you won't even recognize yourself anymore by the time you had started with your yoga practice or your movement practice a couple of years ago, and now it's going to be a massive difference. I can pretty much guarantee that, especially if you show up on a regular basis. So today we're going to be moving in a way that feels amazing, and we're going to be doing a lot of squats and lunges and some shoulder work. It's a bit of an overall body practice, and we're just going to be using our body to feel more energized by the end of this, and not to have a sense that we are being depleted even more, because in these challenging times there's already enough stuff going on out there without our yoga practice having to take away from that even more. So you're here to replenish and to energize. Alright, let's move to the mat. I'll be just there and let's get started. Let's start in a cross-legged position. Any leg in front to start with you can choose. And just sit up tall, so lengthen the spine a little bit, and then just walk a tiny bit forward just to add a little bit of stretch to the outer hips, but not too much. We don't want to be lying all the way down, definitely not at this point in the class. And then instead of just being static, let's just move around a little bit from side to side, and you feel as you lean to one side, the opposite outer hip is getting a little bit more stretch as you lean away from it. But we're not looking for anything super intense. Just to get in there, to send some signals to the body. It's time to move. It's time to get into some sticky parts that might feel a bit stuck. And at the same time, you're sending a signal to your brain as well that this is not an emergency situation. There's not like a crazy hard stretch that you have to tense up for. The mind can also relax here. And then lift up, change the legs, so the other leg goes in front. There's a good chance this one is a bit, feels a bit weird compared to the other side, but that's fine. Again, lean a little bit forward and sway. You might be higher up, you might be a little bit lower down on me, it doesn't matter. But just really gently get into the outer hips, without staying in any particular point. We're just getting a little overview, almost like how the pilot gets into the airplane before a flight and just checks all the dials, you know, what's the fuel gauge, what is the course that we're setting out today, how is the engine and the other very important parts of the airplane. We can do the same with our body. And then lift up, and then a couple of times lean back, swap the legs, and lean forward. So you're just getting in there a little bit, lean back, swap the legs, lean forward. Again, don't stay at any particular point, just move in and out. So it's cross-legged forward fold plus a little boat pose just to swap the legs. But again, not holding anything, we're just giving the body something to work with, something to gently warm up with on this morning. There's another option in case your hips are ridiculously open. Early on in the morning you can have your ankle on your knee, and then as you lean back, you can use your hands as well for some support as you lean back. Then you just swap the legs with the other ankle on the other knee. Usually for me the normal cross legs is more than enough. This one feels like I need to probably warm up a little bit more. But for some people with more space in the outer hips, that probably feels pretty good straight away. So just figure out which one are you and how far do you need to go. Alright, now come to sit with your left knee inside your right foot, like this, so both knees are dropping over to the right side. Again, you can place your hands behind you for a little bit of support, and then just lift the knees and windscreen wipe them to the opposite side. Do that a few times, nice and simple. Windscreen wiping, back and forth. Really nice way to get into the hip capsule, how the thigh bone is moving in this hip socket. And especially if you've been sitting a lot of online meetings, then you'll feel that this is a really good way to open the hips and to get in there a bit more. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and then just transition onto your hands and knees, a little bit of spinal movement with cats and cows. So just start with normal cat and cow, and I will add a bit of a variation. On the exhales, I'm lifting the belly, tucking chin to chest. The inhales, I'm dropping the belly and lifting the gaze. And just feel the rounding of your back on the exhale, the arching of the back on the inhale, and the cooperation between the breath and the movements. Yoga is the practice of linking everything together, which seems to have drifted apart a bit. It appears separate, but in yoga we say it is not separate. We need to bring it back together so that it becomes one. Nice, we'll change this up a bit. Now tuck the toes under, and on the exhale round your back and lift your knees a little bit. On the inhale, put the knees down and lift your heels to your bum as you look up. Exhale, tuck toes, lift the knees a little bit, round your back. Inhale, heels to your bum, look up. Exhale, lift the knees slightly, round your back, push the floor. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, heels to bum. Exhale, knees slightly lifted. Slowly release. Step your right foot forward. Keep the left knee down. In fact, no, don't keep the left knee down, lift it up. I changed my mind. So place the left hand down like easy twist, but start with the right shoulder inside your right knee. Then on the inhale, open the right arm and then close it again. Easy breaths, easy, simple movements. That's 2. This is 3. Let's do 5 on each side. Slowly opening like a book. 4. And 5. Gently release, downward facing dog. For a moment, this is an amazing pose to reclaim the arms overhead, to stretch and lengthen the spine, and also to stretch the whole backs of the legs and the calves. You'll feel that. And then step your left foot forward. Right hand stays down, right knee stays up. And then lower the chest a little bit. So you're curling that left hand a bit under the right armpit. And on the inhale, lift up. Open. Exhale. Back down. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale, link the breath to the movement. Try to be nice and relaxed through these movements. They're nice and simple, so you don't have to think a lot. You don't have to plan what comes next. I think this is the last one, number 5. And then step back, downward facing dog. After each little movement, just feel how your shoulders feel, the hips feel, the steadiness of the spine. And how does your breath move? Nice. Next little simple movement practice. Step right foot forward. Come onto fingertips and then resist the floor a little bit. So I'm pushing down with both feet and with my fingers. And then keep that. Just slowly bend the back knee to touch down. Really soft. And lift back up. Lower the back knee. Touch down softly. And lift up. Lower. As you lift, try to straighten all the way. 2 more. Lower. And lift, lift, lift. 1 more. Lower. And lift. Step back. Down dog. Observe. Check in breath. Body. Mind, whatever you can become aware of. And then left foot forward, fingertips press down, both feet press down. I'm not heavy with the belly on the thigh, I'm trying to lift up away from it a little bit. Keep all of that. Start to bend the right knee, gently touch down and lift up. Couple more, lower and lift. Try to straighten all the way. This is 3. 4. And last one, 5. Step back, down dog. Spend a little moment, couple of slower, deeper breaths. If this becomes too hard, you can of course lower the knees, but if it's not an emergency, try to stay in down dog for a little bit. It's really beneficial for your system. And step right foot forward, lower the left knee down this time. And start to pull the hips back to straighten a bit more to this right leg. Doesn't have to be always straight. You'll see how far you get to in your body. And then come back out by bending the front knee. Do that a few times. I'll do 5 on each side again. This is 3, pull the hips back, hard forward. 4, you can even look forward just to remind yourself to lengthen the spine. And 5. Nice, step back and feel. You can see as little pieces of movement medicine. And after each little piece of medicine, we're just checking in. What does this do? This is a good after effect. Left foot forward, right knee down. I find for this one you have to go a little bit longer than normal, so you might even slide your right knee a bit back, and then as you pull the hips back, your right hip will be above right knee, more or less. Rebend the front knee, and then 2, pull left hip back. Notice how I'm lifting the toes as well. This helps me get into the calf and not just the hamstring. 4, heart goes forward. And last one, 5. Nice, step back, down dog, check it out. We've got one more little simple movement left before we'll start to move a little bit more with our sun salutation. Step your right foot forward, this time right under your face, so in the middle between the hands. And then walk your hands a little bit forward and come onto the outside edge of your right foot, which means let the right knee drop out to the side of it. And then here all we're going to do is noodle around a bit. So shifting side to side, leaning the hips to the right and to the left. And then you can drop the back knee down, walk your hands to the left and lower the chest as far as it goes. Still keeping the right knee falling out to the right, so to speak. Come back up and then just rotate to look over your back leg. If you want, just briefly, you can hold this left foot, but you can also just turn back without holding anything, and the right knee is still opening to the side. Good, release that and step back. Downward facing dog. So this last one is more for external hip rotation. A bit like pigeon pose, but a more active version. The left foot forward between the hands. Come onto the outside edge of the left foot, let the left knee open to the side. Stay strong in both legs really. And noodle around. How the hips feeling? Often it's a whole different story. The left side and the right. And this is quite normal. Just become more aware of these differences. That's a good start. And you lower the right knee down. Walk the hands over to the right as far as they'll go. And then let the chest lower down, relaxing for a moment. Tune into the breath again. And then walk the hands back. Turn to look over that left hip. And maybe, if it feels good, you can hold that back foot to get more into the quad of the back leg. It's not necessary, you can also just release that foot and just twist back. Gently release the back foot. Step back, downward facing dog. We've done some good hip stuff, a little bit of shoulder, a little bit of spine. And we've connected the breath and the mind to that inner space of calm, of presence that we're always returning back to in our yoga practice. It's a busy world out there, but we always have that space of calm, even if it's just your yoga practice and your mat for now. And later on you'll find you actually take it with you long after your practice. Wherever you go, start to walk forward and then place the feet a little bit wider. I'm going to turn towards you for squat. Just sink into your squat and see how the hips are feeling. I'm just going to check if we're still good here. Yes. A moment in the squat, as I said in the beginning, this pose is super easy for any young child. Just have a look at how your toddler is playing, or any child out there. They easily sink down into this squat. They can sit here for a long time. They can watch TV like this. They can eat, they can play, they can discover the world. And as adults, suddenly this becomes quite a task, isn't it? So just notice that. And then a couple of times, straighten the legs a bit and rebend. So this is 5 times. This is 2. Push the hips up and pull the hips down. 2 more, 3 more. My counting isn't great on a Sunday. 2 more. Here we go. Push the feet down, lift the hips, and pull yourself down in the squat. With 1 more, lift and lower. And next time you lift, stay there. Wiggle the feet back to hip distance or all the way together. My preference is hip distance. And then bend the knees a good amount just to hang out. And then for a moment, place your left hand forward of the feet in the middle under your face. Straighten the right leg And then start to lift the right arm up as you bend the left knee a lot. Left knee bends, right leg straight. We're twisting to the right. Reach up to the right arm and slowly come down. Let's swap sides. This time right knee's going to bend a lot. Left knee straightens as best as you can, doesn't have to be all the way. Left arm lifted up. Turn to the left. And then with the left hip, what I'm doing is I'm pushing the left heel down, lifting the left hip up, and leaning a little bit back, which gets into that outer hip really nicely. And then release that, both arms down, bend the knees. Hang down for a moment. Slowly start to roll up into standing. When you get to the top, roll the shoulders a couple of times, and we're getting ready for our sun salutations. Walk to the front of the mat. We'll start with a half sun salutation, nice and easy. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sink down into a squat. We're adding a bit of squats so we can practice our use it or lose it theme for today. Inhale, flat back. Let your feet do whatever they need to make this happen. Exhale, forward fold. Straight legs or bent knees. You must choose. Inhale all the way up. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, half sun salutation. Lengthen. Exhale, feet go a little bit wider, sink down and squat. Inhale, flat back. I like hands to shins here to lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees a bit, it's a good idea. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. Exhale, hands come back to the heart. We'll add on to this. Inhale. Exhale, squat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, the right foot back. Nice. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, lift the arms. Low lunge. Exhale, step back to down dog. Inhale, take a breath here. Exhale, step right foot forward. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, lift, low lunge, strong legs. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale to rise, all the way up. Exhale, hands come together, back to the heart. Second side, inhale, push the feet down, lift the fingertips. Exhale, Malasana, the squat. Inhale, flat back, let your feet move however they need to. Exhale, the left foot back this time, lower your knee. Next inhale, lift the arms, just for a moment. Exhale, down dog, step back. Push the ground away with your hands and with your feet. Inhale and down dog. Exhale, step left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, let the arms rise with the breath. Exhale, step forward, relax in forward fold. Inhale takes you up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a slow breath in. Take a slow breath out. Do one more round like this, we'll change it up a bit. Inhale. Exhale, Malasana. Lower the hips down. Inhale, flat back, heart forward. Exhale, right foot back. Keep the right knee up this time. High lunge, lift the arms. Press the feet down. Exhale, move to down dog. Inhale and down dog, press the hands into the mat. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee stays up if you can. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, step lightly to the front and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one, second side, inhale. Exhale, no, not fold forward, squat, almost forgot. Inhale, flat back, push your shins with the hands. Exhale, left foot back, prepare for high lunge. Inhale, high lunge, here we go, strong legs. Exhale, just to down dog. Inhale and down dog. Exhale, left foot forward, right foot stays back. Stay in the ball, the back foot, inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands back to heart. Take a moment, couple of breaths here, close your eyes and feel this reconnection. It's easy to become a bit disconnected from the body. You're rushing around through daily life. Your focus is on a million things outside yourself. But here we are, this is just for you. You're moving, you're focusing your attention inwards. With every breath, you're reaching and energizing every cell in your body. That's actually literally what's happening. Think about it, it's amazing. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, squat. Take a moment in the squat and then just place your hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Nice, from here, roll the spine forward until you come into plank. Stay in the plank, but just hammock the hips down. Keep the toes tucked under. So it's almost like up dog, but not quite because we're not on the tops of the feet. And then come back to down dog. Again, plank pose, shift forward. Keep the arms strong, but just hammock the hips down. Just stretching the belly in the front of the hips. And exhale to move back. We'll do 3 more. Inhale forward to plank, strong belly, strong core. Hammock the hips down, so you're allowing that front core to relax. Exhale, lift the hips high. 2 more. Inhale, plank. Hang the hips down, heart goes forward. Soften the front of the hips, so keep the toes tucked under. Exhale, down dog. 1 more, inhale, plank. Hang the hips down like a hammock between the hands and the feet. Exhale, back to down dog. Nice, inhale, lift the right leg high. For now, don't open the hip to the side, so keep the toes of the right foot turning down. Just feel what that's like. And then open the toes of the right foot to the right. This probably gives you a bit more lift, but also less stretch in the right hamstring, notice. Then bend the right knee. You can lean into this a little bit more. Even if your right shoulder lifts a bit, the left shoulder drops a bit, there's no problem. And then from here, step your right foot forward to the front. Lower the left knee almost all the way down, hover just above the mat, and look forward and up. Now that's position 1. We'll add position 2 and move between those 2 a couple of times. Position 2 is pyramid pose, where we're straightening the right knee a little bit more. Maybe not all the way, maybe all the way, it's up to you. Just see what's available. You can round the back and tuck chin to chest. Inhale, rebend the front knee. Bend the back knee as well, so it's almost down, but not quite. Look up. Exhale. Pull back, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look towards your belly button. Nice. Next one, lower the back knee down. Start to straighten through the front leg. Keep this option 1 or option 2. If you want to go a little bit more, then hover the left knee above the mat. I'm saying more, but actually what I mean is a bit more strength and balance, maybe less stretch. So just see which option works best for you. More is not always better. Sometimes less is more, actually. Nice, release that, whichever option you did. Well done, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Take a breath, this is your home. Not just down dog, but just your body, your mind, your breath. You should be at home and have a sense of ease, of control, of confidence. This is what we are restoring, one yoga practice at a time. Good. Step your left foot forward. Come on the fingertips. Bend the back knee until it hovers just above the mat. Just look at it. We don't want to be all the way up here. It's not going to work then. Hover just above the mat. And then lengthen the chest forward. So you feel a good stretch in the front of this right hip here. And then position 2. Pull the left hip back. And round your back a little bit. It's very strange, my left hamstring used to be more flexible and now it actually seems tighter than the right. I'm not sure what I did, but it's good to notice these things. The right knee hovered just above the mat. Lengthen the chest forward and up, maybe look up. Exhale, pull back and round. One more. Inhale, right knee barely touching the mat. Exhale, look towards your belly button, round your back. Lower the back knee down. Straighten through the right leg. See, if you don't lengthen your stance, you might end up with your hip beyond your right knee. We don't want this. Shuffle a little bit back. Fingertips down, you can just pull the left toes through as your option 1. Option 2, same thing, but right knee hovers. Maybe try it out, see how that's different in your experience. Of course, the second one is a bit more dynamic, but it might also reduce the stretch. And if you're already depleted, then of course this is not the best option for you. Release that. Downward facing dog, step back. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Open the right hip. Oh, I just realized I forgot this on the left leg. I'll make it up. Bend the right knee and lift the hip, twist into it. Step your right foot forward. Lower the left knee almost down. Look forward and up. Exhale, pull back. Only do 2 this time. Inhale, look forward and up. Exhale, look towards your belly. Nice. Back knee down, front leg straight-ish. Maybe hovering the back leg. Nice. 3, 2, 1. We're adding something to the sequence. Step onto your right foot. Lift the left leg high. Standing splits. It's okay to bend that front knee a little bit, but if you can, straighten the top leg all the way. So you're really reaching it up to whatever height you can get to. I'm really unhappy with my height, but so be it. That's just how it is. And if you're in the same situation, then I guess we're in good company. Well done. And then if you want to, totally optional, you can plant the hands down and just do a couple of hops. Just a couple of hops. You're not trying to get anywhere really. Couple of hops. Maybe you catch some balance. See how it goes. Downward facing dog. Remember, use it or lose it. If you never do a handstand or try to go upside down anyway, then the result will be you'll be very good at not going upside down, isn't it? If you want to lower the knees a bit for a moment, child's pose. But basically the message is your body is paying really close attention to what you wanted to do, and it's getting better at those things. So whether it's slouching on the couch, watching Netflix, or whether it's climbing mountains, that's what you get better at. So the choice is up to you really, it's very simple. Down dog, let's move. Inhale, left leg high. Keep the hips closed off, turn the left toes down. Turn the left toes open to the side. Maybe lift a little bit higher this space. Bend the left knee, squeeze your heel to your buttock. I promised to make it up, we forgot the last time. So go back to a straight leg. Turn the toe open. Bend the left knee, I keep my promises as much as I can. Step the left foot forward, hover the right knee just above your mat. Look forward and up, stretch your belly, stretch the front of that back hip, and then pull the hip back, round your back. We'll only do two. This is the last one. Inhale, look forward and up. Exhale, pull back. Lower back knee down, shift a bit back. Left leg straight as you lift the toes, lift, 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 lift. Maybe hover the right knee. 3, 2, 1. Step forward on your left foot, standing splits. At least with the name like standing splits, you're expecting this right leg to go straight up to the ceiling, like a ballerina. But unfortunately, that's often not the reality. So rather focus on what do you feel. You're feeling the left foot pushing down, you're feeling a really good opening the back of the left leg, and you're reaching the top leg up, which is a nice and strengthening effect. Nice. If you like to just rest for a moment, or if it's fun, then my recommendation is plant the hands down, really push down through the hands and do a couple of hops. Even if your hop is 2 centimeters, that's great. Maybe after a while you get a bit more confident to swing the leg up a bit more, and maybe one day you won't come down. Well, at some point you will. Release that. Down dog, you can move to vinyasa of course, or what I'm going to do is rest in child's pose and catch my breath. Feels amazing to rest, but not if all you've been doing is sitting down. Feels amazing to rest after you've been really active. You moved your body, maybe you went out in nature, maybe you learned a new skill. You challenge yourself a little bit, then to rest, that's amazing. That is a good balance. Often the problem actually nowadays with our modern lifestyle is not that we overuse our body, is that we underuse it. So often we don't need more rest, we need more movement. Alright, let's add some movements. We'll repeat part of that sequence, we'll add something. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Keep the toes turned down and then slowly turn the toes open. See, that gives you a bit more height. Bend the right knee, lean into it. And then step the right foot forward. Lower the left knee almost down. Lengthen your chest forward, look up. Exhale, pull the right hip back, chin to chest, look back. Back knee, hover it, start to straighten that right leg. Or if that's too much, lower the left knee down, of course, no problem. Nice, lower the left knee down everyone, wherever you are. Turn that left heel in. I'm going to be with my back to you, so I'll turn around. So from a low lunge, you just turn the left knee out at a 90-degree angle. And I like to place one hand on the front knee, one on the back hip. Now all we're going to do is start above your left knee and then bend the right knee to shift the hips down and towards that front knee. Do that a few times. really great way to get into inner thighs, your adductors, and hip flexors as well. And remember that no part of our body works in isolation. It's always a whole complex system of muscles and the nervous system and circulatory systems that all work together to get the desired effect. There's a huge intelligence at work in our body and in our mind, and through yoga we're just learning to tap into it again a little bit better. Good. Next time you move in, stay there with your right hand. If you can, place it inside the right foot. If this is not available, then go right elbow to right thigh. That's perfect too. Stay here with the left arm lifted up. Resist a little bit with the inside of your right knee against this right upper arm, and then lean the left arm a little bit forward and up. Keep bending that right knee. So this is actually side angle, but with a modification, our back knee is down. And just see how that feels different to the normal version that you're used to. Lift up. And then just straighten the right leg off to the right. So I'm in line with that left knee, and try to keep the left hip above the left knee, more or less. I like to turn the right toes forward here. So we're setting up for gate pose with your right hand. Just place it on the top of that right leg, left arm lifted up, and then take the left arm over the head into a side bend. You should feel the whole left side of the body lengthen here. Nice, let's go the other side. Place left hand down. Reach your right arm over the head and reach. So this is a version of side plank, you could say, without a lot of weight on that bottom arm. Back to gate. So we're waving in and out. Left hand down, right arm over. One more time. Right arm over. Good. Return to the facing the right leg. This time turn the left foot back, lift the back knee up, turn the heel down. We'll do the full version of our side angle pose. Remember, the longer you make your stance, the more intense it's going to be. If you shorten it up, it's going to be a little bit more manageable, especially if you have some restrictions around the hips. So choose wisely. Right elbow, right thigh, that's one option. Right hand down, like we've done before. Other option, lift up first, and then turn the palm down and stretch, stretch, stretch. Imagine someone's pulling your hand up and forward. 3, 2, 1. Release. Turn the hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Or you always have the option of moving to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Don't feel like you have to do this just because this is a vinyasa based class, but the option is there. The other option is skip some parts and take a break, which is an incredible advantage as well of this style of yoga, which leaves you in charge. Nice. Second side, left leg lifted up, turn the toes down. Open the toes to the side, maybe find a little bit more lift in this left leg. Bend the left knee, squeeze heel to buttocks. Open to the side. Step the left foot forward, right knee almost down, remember. Lift the gaze and stretch into it. Exhale, pull everything back, chin to chest. Back knee, hover it almost down. Left leg straightens. You can of course place this knee down. If it's too much, it's no problem. Lower the back knee down. Re-bend the front knee and come up. Now we're just swiveling this right lower leg at a rectangle at the right angle to the long edge of the mat. Left hand, left knee, right hand, right hip. I start above the right knee and then move in and down. Lift back up. Couple of times. And then just feel where you notice this. I feel quite a stretch in the inner thighs, a little bit at the front of the hips, but it might be different for you, so just see. Remember, if your pose looks different than mine, I would say that's a good thing. Maybe you're going all the way down, maybe you're just moving a little bit and you're feeling plenty, that's also fine. One more. Next time you're bending that left knee a lot, keep there. Left elbow on the thigh is one option. Left fingertips down, another option. You can also place a block here inside this left foot. Lift the right arm up and stretch it a little bit over the head. Just see how this version of side angle feels in your body. Couple of breaths. And then lift up, come out. Right hip above right knee. Left toes, I'm turning them forward and I'm stepping them out. And keep the spine nice and strong here. Lift the right arm. Left hand, you can slide it down the left leg wherever it goes. Hold for a moment the first time. Breathe into this top side of the rib cage. Imagine your ribs are like an accordion. They actually kind of are, with little muscles in between the intercostals. And then come out, place the right hand down and reach the left arm over. A bit like side plank without the drama and all the weight on that arm. Nice waving back and forth. Let's go 2 more times. Gate to side plank variation. One more. Right arm over, reach. And left arm over, reach. Good. Turn back towards the left leg. Left toes turn forward. Right toes swivel them back. Lift the back knee. Turn the back foot down. I like the heels to be in the same line here, but you can play around with this alignment and see what feels good. Remember, you can shorten for less intensity. You can have elbow to thigh for a little bit of more height, or the fingertips down. Make your choice, choose wisely. And then right arm up, reach the right arm forward and up. And you want to get a long diagonal line all the way the top side of the body. If you can film yourself doing yoga, it can be really helpful. Not to criticize yourself or judge, but just to see, sometimes you feel you're like here, and then you look and you're here. And in the video or in the picture, it's going to be really clear. That's one of the things I like about these online classes. Nice, come out, maybe last quick vinyasa. And then we'll take it really easy for our little cool down. Come back to down dog, take a few breaths. And then lower your knees. Bring your right shin forward to the front edge of the mat. So set this up nicely, because this pose called 90-90, the setup is really key here. Right thigh parallel to long edge of the mat. Right shin parallel to short edge of the mat. Same with the back leg, just look back and create these 90-degree angles. So it's going to be left thigh, short edge of the mat, left shin, right long edge of the mat, and then just lift up and turn your chest forward. And then for now, can you press both knees down? So the outside of your right knee, the inside of your left knee. Lift the chest. You can support yourself with the hands. If this is really uncomfortable or inaccessible, then you might need to lean a little bit to the right. You might not see it very well, but I'm just leaning, supporting myself on the right hand, maybe even on the right elbow if you need more support. Nice. Then start to lean a little bit forward. Keep pressing that right knee down. And don't go all the way down, you'll feel a lot more sort of halfway in my experience. And I like to post the hands a bit wide. Lengthen the chest forward and a little bit to the left, so over the left calf, the right calf. And then add one more thing, actually two more things. Tilt the tailbone up, so you're arching your lower back. At the same time, letting the belly just relax down to the right thigh. That's the first one. And then last cue, pull your right thigh bone back on the mat. So it's like you're trying to slide the right buttocks back and out. Couple of breaths here. This is called the 1990. And you'll notice it's very similar to pigeon pose. But in some ways, in my experience, this feels better, it feels more accessible. And I can see for a lot of people, this is an easier access point to get into the outer hip rotation than the traditional pigeon pose. If you're like, no, I want full pigeon, then you have the option to keep the right leg as it is and sneak the left leg back. And if that works for you, I seem to be able to get into it today because I've already warmed up earlier, but on some other days it's not really accessible to me before I warm up quite a bit. So just see, it's fine, the two are on the same level, but for some people they'll feel more, of course, who feel more in the back leg when it's stretching back, and for some the other one is going to feel way better. Slowly release that. Come back to 90-90 if your left leg was back, and then that's windscreen wipe a couple of times side to side. We started doing this in the warm-up, and just see if you have a bit more space to play with, a bit more space to use that's at your disposal for your daily movement and requirements. And then next time you turn over the left leg, stay there. Your leg should be more or less in the right position, but you might need to make little adjustments. Remember, 90 degrees in the knee joint, in the ankle joint, and the hip joint. And then you can look back to check the back leg. Push the hands a bit wide, lean a little bit forward, but sort of halfway only, I would recommend. Press both knees down, so the inside of the back leg and the outside of the left knee. Lengthen the chest forward and a little bit towards the middle of that left calf. And then two more things like before. Arch the lower back, so letting the belly relax here. And then with the left buttocks, pull it back and out. There's not going to be movement when you do that, but you'll intensify the stretch. You get more into that hip capsule that gets really restricted from lack of movement, from long periods of sitting. And then, like we've done before, you could stay here, this is perfect, or you can sort of sneak that back leg into pigeon pose. Try to keep the front leg exactly as it was before. It might work, or you might be like, no, thank you, this is not, this doesn't feel good at all. You can even go a little bit halfway, where you stretch a little bit through the back leg. You don't have to turn it all the way in. Or just make it up. You're in charge of your practice, of your body. And in the end, only you know what you need at this moment. Your yoga teacher doesn't know, your physio, your chiropractor don't know. You are the best teacher, and sometimes, of course, you need a lot of outside help, but you're still the one that's going to make it happen. Couple of breaths, and slowly come out. Let's come to lie on our back. Take a moment just to feel the support of this earth underneath you, your mat on the floor, your floor on the foundation of the building, wherever you are, the foundation on the ground, on the soil of this planet. We'll end with spinal twist. To keep it really easy, then just pull these to your chest and drop both of them to the right. And you can open the arms, and what I'd like to do is actually reach or just relax the top hand, the right hand on the top of the left knee. And just drop in for a moment. We've moved quite actively. We'll really use the capacity that we have in the hips and the shoulders and the spine in a series of fun, accessible movements. Not easy ones, but at least they were simple. So now see if you can drop in and just soften more and more. And then lift back up to center. Keep the knees together and drop them to the left side. You can place left hand on the top knee if you like. I like to reach the right arm away from the right shoulder. And then just, more than worrying about the shape and twisting deeper, rather just settle in. Surrender to the pose and let the breath and gravity do the work for now. And then slowly come back to center. Take a moment to settle down on your mat. This might be the most important part of your yoga practice, which is where we assimilate the benefits of our efforts. So just rest the heels down, rest the calves, rest the thighs and the buttocks. Rest your whole back of the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Rest the head. Rest the brain in the head. And just for a moment try to be empty, empty, empty. With every exhale, empty even more. If you have a little bit more time for a longer Shavasana, I would greatly recommend it. Just stay here, ignore the rest of what I'm saying. If you only had an hour for your yoga practice, it's time to move on, then I totally understand. You can move your fingers, start to move your toes, bend your knees and roll over to your sides. And when you feel ready, come up to sitting. Bring your palms together in front of the heart. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart center, and bow to yourself on the mat. Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. It was amazing to know that there's so many yogis out there on their mat, learning how to move their body better, learning how to control their mind better, how to focus, how to connect, how to breathe and manage their posture, and hopefully it will pay off in many unexpected ways, especially if you keep showing up. Thanks for your happy presence, and I hope to see you here again soon.